Beginnings in a stirring land, in the towns of early America, when the frontier still was wide, when the counties burned with questions and revival fires inside. A young man searched the heavens, asking which path he should take, and Joseph claimed a vision that set history awake. Around him gathered seekers, young families and the poor, a people bound by scripture, finding hope in something more. Their neighbors feared their difference, their voting blocks, their ways. And so began the wanderings that shaped their earthly days. Onward, oh pioneers, onward, oh pioneers, with the faith that lights the road. Through the storms and valleys dark, and where no peaceful hearth abode, for the promise in your heart was stronger than the winter's hand. So you walked across a continent to build a promised land. Faith communities rising, Quakers whispered peace in meeting halls beneath the trees. Shakers danced in trembling worship, living lives of purity. Methodists rode circuits with a Bible and a song. Baptists built their riversides where all the saints belong. Camp meetings roared like thunder, and the crowds cried out for grace. A nation in the making, every hill a sacred place. Different creeds but common hopes to shape a world anew. And many left familiar towns to seek the tried and true. Onward, oh seekers bold, onward, oh seekers bold, through the dawn of freedom's day. Though your paths were drawn in struggle, still you would not turn away, for the dream of holy refuge pulled you westward grain by grain, till your wagons carved the prairies and your courage staked its claim. The Mormon trail begins, but none were tried like the Mormons, driven out by fear and hate. From Ohio's rising temples to Missouri's guarded gate, in Nauvoo they built a city with a charter strong and grand, till the bullets flew at Carthage and their prophet made his stand. With their leader fallen grieving, they turned west with Brigham Young. This is the place, he whispered. When the valley's sunlight shone across the plains, they marched in lines like Israel long before, pulling hand carts through the sagebrush, singing hymns forevermore. Hand cart saints push on, though the snows begin to rise, though the wind steals breath and comfort and the mountains hide the skies, for the valley waits in silence where the desert blooms with grace. Hand cart saints, push on till you reach your resting place. Building Zion in the west, from the Salt Lake's gleaming shoreline to the shadowed canyon walls, they raised farms from salty soil and carved cities from the fall. Irrigation flowed like rivers where no rivers dared to be, and a kingdom of their labor blossomed green across the Lee. They forged laws of mutual labor, stored their grain in seasons lean, wove a culture built on service, every village small and clean. Clergy walked with farmers, every neighbor lent a hand. This covenant community became their promised land. Other faiths on western winds, but they were not alone there on the rugged open plain. Catholic missions raised their crosses in the valleys of Spain. Jewish traders built new markets in the mining mountain towns. Protestant schools for homesteaders spread learning all around. Chinese temples burned with incense near the gold fields in the west, and black pioneers built churches where the weary could find rest. Faiths of every color settled under heaven's dome. The west became a tapestry where every soul found home. heart strong and old. Though your doctrines shaped you differently, your journey tied you near, for you crossed the same vast wilderness to build your futures here. Trials strong and legacy. And though the winners claim the weary and the desert claim the weak, the pioneers pressed onward with the Zion they would seek. From communal halls to temples, from the Shaker farms of peace, from the Catholic missions orchards to the Baptist prairie leaves, each people carved the future where their children might belong, where their prayers could find a foothold and their lives become a song. And the West that rose in splendor from the Wasatch to the sea was shaped by countless pilgrims chasing visions of the free. Sing now of pioneers who crossed plains of dust and stone, who carried fire in their spirits when the world felt far from home. For the open land remembers every wagon, every tear, and the faith that built the West still echoes year by year. So when we walk the valleys or the mountains high and bare, we walk among their footsteps, we breathe their rugged prayer. For the West was born of wanderers who believed in something more, and their hope still lights the mountains like it did in days of yore.